All right, I'm going to take you back a few years with this idea, in fact, a few decades. I wonder if you remember back in the 80s, there was a book that was huge. In fact, it sparked a whole dietary craze, and it was called Fit for Life, written by Harvey and Marilyn Diamond. And it was just it seemed like a very novel concept to people at the time, and yet it was not a set of new ideas, but rather based on the age-old principles of natural hygiene, and more specifically, careful food combining in a way that supports gut health and well-being and a healthy microbiome. So let me just break that down a little bit. Basically, when you go into any drugstore and you look around and you see aisles full of like digestive aids, Pepto-Bismol and Rolaids and laxatives and all of that, it really sheds light on kind of a situation we have with the typical American diet, which is that there are so many heavy foods and so many combinations that people put all together in one meal, hamburgers and milkshakes and steaks and french fries and all of that. And what that does is it's almost like an assault on your digestive system, because it's difficult to cope with all of that at once, specifically, especially if you've got large portions, which we Americans are famous for. So taking a different approach is to sort of flip that and say, well, not only am I going to have smaller portions, and it doesn't mean that you have to ever eat less than you want, but it would be at a sitting, your portions would be smaller, and also potentially combined a little more simply. So maybe instead of having 4 or 5 different things, you have more simple meals. And when you try that, whether it's just maybe a nice salad at a sitting, or a bagel, but just keeping it sort of separate rather than mixing everything together, surely as an experiment to see if you notice that when you eat more simply, if you feel more clear, more clean, more energized, and that your digestion is moving along nicely. That's one aspect of this. The other, again, we hit on, which is the portion size. That's another aspect that is challenging on the gut to have large amounts of foods to process at once. So having smaller meals more often is hands down the healthiest way to eat with regard to your body being able to properly digest and assimilate and absorb nutrients. So if you think about, a kind of mid-sized snack or small meal every few hours, you're going to be doing your system like a huge favor, and you may find that you have a lot more energy that way. So think about it and just try it. This is an idea, like all of the different ideas we talk about. Some will resonate with you, some less so, but it's great that we just keep exploring all the ways that we can look and feel fabulous now and all the way to the end. So thank you for considering that, and we'll talk again soon. Cheers.